we're out for a drive looking for a place that we're gonna look for rocks this morning. We're outside of Custer, Montana, and yeah, this is kind of a pretty drive through here. It reminds me a lot of Central Oregon. Definitely an old, bumpy road, but at least it's not gravel at the moment. Supposed to be a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a high of 58, and the day before that it was 89 degrees. So that was quite a shift in the temperatures. It was breezy yesterday too, which made it rather cold. And we did get a little bit of rain on us yesterday too. Rocky didn't like the cold yesterday. He was shivering. I had to put him inside my coat. So today is tomorrow, actually. We're leaving for Wyoming. We've got some interesting places along the way that we're going to be stopping. Cattle guard. This road kind of reminds me of the road that we took out to Ashwood. Lumpy and bumpy. came out here at the suggestion of several different people, and we're hoping that it'll be a little bit easier to find things than it was on our little expedition yesterday. Most of the rocks are covered in, I don't know, dried mud and silt, yeah. So it was kind of hard to tell the difference. We did find some petrified wood yesterday and the day before. The day before we actually found quite a few small agates and pieces of petrified wood. A lot of the common areas where people go rock hounding at have been fairly well picked over as well, because, you know, everybody jumped on the river receding after the flooding, and you know, because they knew that there was going to get other rocks were going to be churned up, and so yeah. And it's that time of the year, you know, we're getting towards the end of September, and, you know, people have been rock hounding as soon as they could get out on the river. And there are quite a few channels, actually, of people that do rock hounding regularly in this area. would have liked to have had a little, well, some more time to gone and seen some of the sights and stuff around here too. Not far from Custer, south of here, is the little Bighorn battlefield, which would have been an interesting place to go. They have some other places, other cities in the area that are historic cities that would have been nice to have seen. We would have both liked to see Glacier National Park also, but you know, that was way out of our way. But there's some places here that have caves and petroglyphs and all kinds of things that would be interesting to see. A lot of historic stuff too. But then in Idaho, there's also a bunch of historic stuff as well. Interesting. We found this cemetery out in the middle of nowhere, and I thought that I would show you a little bit of it. It's really kind of cool. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, and it's called Rancher Cemetery. It's really pretty small too. I don't know if there's anybody in here right at the moment that is well known or anything, but I will look it up and let you know. Take care. See you on the next clip. Bye-bye. I found a couple of interesting bits of information on two people buried here at Rancher Cemetery. Currently, there are only about 276 memorials for this cemetery. The first one is Thomas Cotter. He was a saloon owner in Wichita, Montana. Born in 1824, he died in 1882. He owned a saloon, and there were two men that came into his saloon one day and stole a gun. Outside of the saloon, they asked a local, his name was Kenny, to take the gun to a house not far outside of town. Later, the men went to that house and retrieved the gun and left with their spoils. A humorous telegram was later printed in the newspaper. Ask Kenny, when he returns, who stole Tom Cotter's gun. The next person was a woman named Lucina Samantha Warden Higgins. She was born in 1843 and died in 1916. There was a newspaper article that states Mrs. W.B.S. Higgins, formerly of Battleboro and Bernardston, has been murdered by Indians at Wichita, Montana, near the scene of the Custer disaster. They say the motive for the crime was a chief's wish to marry Mrs. Higgins' 15-year-old daughter. The newspaper article was written in 1880. The bio states further down that the false story of her death in 1880 at the hands of marauding Indians is difficult to explain. Perhaps there was an attack that she survived. So it seems that even back then, that the news outlets had their own spin on things. to some fishing access points on the river, and searching for those and out driving around, we did find some really old, dilapidated buildings that I took pictures of. And speaking of which, look at this one right here. Looks like there's a sign in front of it. Looks like an old schoolhouse. That was kind of funny, you know, just talking about old buildings and then just have one appear. It's pretty cool. That was not a planned thing. We've never been on this road before.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail. Interesting. Well, I'm going to leave this off right here. This video is getting kind of long. So take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.